For the second time in recent months, Nigerian military personnel have been accused of attacking electricity distribution workers over power supply disputes. In the early hours of 14 March 2025, soldiers from the Nigerian Army's 15th Field Engineers Regiment in Topo Town, Badagry, allegedly stormed the Eco Electricity Distribution Company, otherwise known as Eco Disco, Badagry Injection Substation, abducting 2 staff members. On Sunday, Odutan, Managing Director at the Association of Nigerian Electricity Distributors, the umbrella body for all electricity distribution companies in Nigeria, stated that the soldiers took the distribution system operator and a protein security officer to their barracks, where they were beaten before being released at around 4 a.m. Their claims were poor electricity supply to their barracks in the last 1 week, despite the fact that their commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel S. Lawan, was duly informed of the ongoing transmission company of Nigeria upgrade in Abara. This latest incident follows an attack by personnel from the Nigerian Air Force Base in Ikeja, Lagos, on Ikeja Electricity Distribution Company workers. That assault, reportedly over the disconnection of power to the base, involved the vandalization of Ikeja Electric's head office and the brutalization of its staff, including the CEO. The repeated military interference in electricity distribution has raised concerns among industry stakeholders who are calling for urgent government intervention to prevent further attacks on power sector workers. I don't know if I had a discussion with you at a time in Lagos. Did I? Oh, no, I didn't.
It's something that's of public interest,
okay,
and I'm not unfamiliar with it.
You know, we did not have the discussion then. There's this altercation that happened in Lagos, the Ikeja part of the country. You know, the army invaded this disco operational center and assaulted the CEO and other staff members, including the journalists that were at the time of the event, to know what was the altercation. According to the story, the military base, their power, the Nigerian Air Force, their power was disconnected, you know, and they were owing, there was an outstanding payment that Nigerian Air Force, yes, I'm not mistaken, there was an outstanding payment of about 4.3 billion naira at that instance, and their power was disconnected. We're still yet to find out if it has been restored up to now, because at the last time we checked, they were without power for up to a week, which is not, which is actually a sad thing to look at in that instance. So as the power is disconnected, they went to this Ikeja Disco operational center, and this assaulted most of the staffs they had there. And again, we're getting this from another part of Lagos State, Badagry, that this army also, their power was also disconnected, and they came to, you know, invade the disco at that place. The question here would be, at the time when most of those people have their uniform, I thought they're supposed to be a rule, like they're supposed to be disciplinary, you know, inculcation in them, or what's the word, when they are instilled in them, you know, that there are certain measures you do not take on civilians, or because you have the uniform, then it's okay to react in any certain way. We are not going to cite the electricity distribution company because they have their own sides, if we have to look at that. But I'd love to get your thoughts on this, please, sir. What you have to make of this.
Well, you're very right. I think it was Chinua Achebe who wrote that until the lion have their own historian, the story of the hunt will always favor the hunter. Because it is human being that write the history. So, but there are times actually when the lion conspire and they get it right and they bring down the hunters. But you will not read that aspect of the story. So that's why Chinua Achebe said, until the lion have their own historian, right? The story will not change. And it's so sad. It's so sad, so sad. And see, today is a sunny day. There's virtually no day that passes without the sun coming on us here. That is one of the greatest blessings that put Nigeria at a jealous angle to other nations of the world. The energy that will be wasted on this airspace of Nigeria today is energy that can last for months and we can't finish. Do you understand me? I'm talking about solar energy. You know, I told you sometime here that we joke too much in this part of the world. We joke too much. But I know that this joke will get to an end one day. Because to no man is like giving him free hold. We are all tenants. When you go to the road and you see our brothers and sisters who belong or who work with the security agents who have converted themselves into government-approved armed robbers to the point that they are using their rifle that they were bought, you know, for the protection of Nigerians, using those rifles to turn on the Nigerians to extort them with audacious impunity, you know that something is wrong. I don't need to be in the Western world, but I can tell you for free. In the Western world, when you talk about Army, Air Force, Navy, these are the three components. Leave police alone. Leave police out. We're talking about core defense, Air Force, Navy, and Army. These are virtually independent running sectors that they have military, apart from the military, which is the core thing, they have medicals that anybody would desire to be attended to by the paramedics from any of these organizations. They also have engineering sector. They are even supposed to have a science sector that can be into refining of crude oil. They are supposed to be a sector that is supposed to handle, you know, electricity. Build them that they can even distribute out of their environment because they have the land space where they, what are they using their knowledge to do? When they become useless, they are not useful even to themselves. These are the kind of things you see that is manifesting. Coming out to vent your anger on the innocent civilian. I'm wondering why the Ikeja people have not even declared a strike. They should go on strike. And I say that and I stand by it. You know what? I told you here some time ago. I say any nation that is National Assembly, instead of being concerned about power generation, is rather concerned about providing solar powers on the street so as to give a psychological feeling as if there is electricity. Because you cannot use the street light, the solar power this thing, to charge your phone. You can't do that. So after some time, what will be on the mind of Nigerians as they come out in the evening and they see light on the street, they will have this fake idea that there is light. While in reality, they are being undermined. That any nation that is National Assembly will have such as its national project that it is pursuing is doomed. You know here recently that they are budgeting 39 billion to renovate International Conference Center, where the intellectual who is heading INEC imposed who is oppressing us today on us. It was at the International Conference Center that they announced the imposition, and that we are. They are preparing for 2027. They want to renovate the place with 39 billion. This is a fake country. I'm telling you, we are joking here. And like Charlie Boy will always say, you always raise a question, a rhetorical question. Mumu never do. I think we will get to that point wherein we want to be sincere with ourselves and we want to face reality. The Army or the Air Force or the Navy, they should go abroad. They go abroad. I think they were making noise last time that Canada denied them visa. What were they going to do in Canada? When they get there, don't they get to the barracks? Don't they see what is happening there? Don't they see what, when there is disaster, it is Army they deploy. Is it electricity? You know, fixing our electricity, they keep the civilians out. It is the Army because it's a challenging time. Is it Marine? They deploy the Army. They bring some, fill the bags, and then you see them in action. But here, this is a nation wherein the head of the security operatives, every Navy, Air Force, and Army. Their heads misappropriate funds. The president cannot query them. Oshomole told Nigerians that they did a crack investigation and find that money given to these organizations are diverted. Some of them are even using them to build private universities. And they cannot be held accountable. And he now said, colleagues, let us play our role of what we call, there's a name we call it, that is oversight function. We are now going to forthwith, if we are giving money to the army, we must make sure if the money is to be used to buy AK-47, modern AK-47 to combat the terrorists, we must make sure that this money so approved is used for that purpose. And we monitor that they are applied. You know what happened in the National Assembly? They threw out the motion. The pretentious Akpabio, I use the word pretentious because he does not have my legal approval. I may be standing alone. I know how he came into office. It's through fraud. And if this is the kind of people that, see, people don't steal power to serve the people. Anybody who steals power cannot use it to serve people. A father who is immoral cannot correct the daughters not to go into the volatile highway of immorality. You cannot do that.
Akpabio was the former governor of Akwa Ibom State.
I don't give a damn. I say coming into office as a senator. You know he wanted to be president.
I'm trying to get to a point.
You know he wanted to be president.
Yes, sir.
And he picked form.
Yes,
and he went in.
Yes.
And by the time he came back, talking about Senate DC, it was done and concluded. Court of Appeal said he cannot.
Was Will Akpabio not appointed as a Senate leader, the Senate president?
He ought not to be.
That's instance that was you saying that he got into office through fraud.
It's by the Supreme Court.
It's
the
an
Supreme Court
alleged situation.
See, it's not
because
me.
There are no evidence behind.
Are you afraid?
I'm not afraid of who.
You see, it's all part of what we talked about
we do
at the
not
beginning.
have. The thing is, you are a legal practitioner, and you people say that he
who has had most proof.
No, yes,
and
then the part of an accused is not guilty until found guilty in the court of law. You know, you do not say something that you do not have evidence over. When there is a court sitting in a courtroom, you know that.
You know,
there's a certain accusation in place. They ask you, what is your evidence against?
Oh my God! You see
in that form.
You see this reasoning. This is what is going to cripple this country. You see what is happening in Rivers State?
This is actually, I'm trying to follow your
no, I'm saying it.
Because of your profession.
You see, law.
If I am brought into the court of law, you are my defendant, you are my lawyer, and I was accused of a certain, probably a very grievous offense.
Yes.
And you're trying to defend me. You know, in that instance of defending me in front of the judge, they would ask for evidence one day.
Of course.
That is what I'm saying.
The evidence.
And you are trying to defend me that I am not guilty of that offense.
I would have heard you.
Let's say possibly I am actually guilty of the offense, and you are defending me that I am not guilty of that offense.
See, let me explain this to you. Let's not digress.
I'm just trying to get the point out of this.
Our criminal jurisprudence, as it stands now, we are operating what we call adversarial philosophy, not inquisitorial, right?
Okay.
This is what defines what is happening, right? So the prosecution proved the guilt of the accused, not the other way around. Under inquisitorial, the accused proved his innocence. Do you understand?
Yes.
Like in the French system, like this building is, the management can be heard. They can ask the CEO to show how he got money to build this place. If he cannot, he forfeits it as public treasure.
Even though he is genuinely the owner of the space.
Yeah, you have to show.
That is just something.
That's where things are working. That's where things are working.
Okay.
Do you understand it?
Okay.
I understand your position. Okay. But we're in a very critical situation. It's just like this issue. Let's focus on it.
Right.
Like this issue that we are talking about that is under consideration. Do we need rocket science to say that part of the duty of even the army as independent as it should be, that it should be able to provide life for itself?
Yes, yeah, and these questions have also been asked most oftentimes.
Do you know why it's not happening?
Also, the question would be: do they not have certain allocations designated to them for specific needs like this, that they had to owe up to let's say 4 billion naira at that instance, which is so much an outrageous amount?
Do you know what 1 billion can do? 1 billion. Do you know what 1 billion naira can do? 1 billion alone. This thing speak of massive corruption. I was giving you the thing here now. Why I was is to save you. That's why I was bringing in what happened at the National Assembly. Do you understand? Because I know what NBC is up to. So I sympathize with you. I don't desire to be in your speakership position because you are sitting on a very volatile table, and sometimes you battle, because you see, one of the worst battle you can engage in is to fight against your conscience. Reality is telling you that what is happening in the market, that inflation has not come down, and then NBC is bringing out paper, churning out cold economic statistics, telling you that the economy is improving, that the price of rice and beans has dropped, a kg of gas, a kg of fuel has come down, and you heard of the story of this young NYSC who in church were talking about egg, and I saw her wept. In fact, well, God will have mercy on this country.
Amen.
And I'm saying it's not a matter of, there are things that God expects us to do, not to. You see, if God gave us money to buy rice, and we kept it on this table and pray that God will come and cook it, it will not happen. We have to go and look for firewood if we don't have money to buy gas, and we will wash it and cook it before it will be done. You know, we die of hunger strike. So if the head of the security agents, that's why we are where we are. In fact, things are worse than 1983 when the military took over. But they allow them to get on with all the manner of homogeneous corruption that is happening within the security sector. And when you allow such a thing to thrive in hope that you are covering your bad deed to gain protection, you will end up in the worst situation. In fact, the worst is yet to come. And I hope we will get to that level, that these people can go on strike, shut down the entire system. What is the National Assembly? What is the capacity of electricity that we are generating in this country? In this country alone. Okay, Army, Air Force, and Navy are places that they are even supposed to tell Nigerians that we have excess power that we want to distribute. Okay, look at a body like Lumos and MTN powering. What I use in my house is that partnership. I'm not advertising for them, so to say, but that is anchored on technology. Before I pay off the money and I own the facility, once you don't pay, they have a way of disconnecting you. Do you understand? And they will electronically write on it that you are owing, that you need to pay. Once you pay, light is restored. As I'm talking now, my percentage should be 100%. But what am I using it for? Because there was light in my place when I left. So the thing is just there, 100%. What am I using it for? When I come and there's no light, I can use it to charge my power bank, and I will stay afloat mentally. But the reality is that until we are ready to face reality as it is and speak the truth to ourselves, Army, Air Force, Navy, that's why foreign terrorists will come and invade NDA, which is supposed to be the highest point of security. Invade it and kill officers, and they are still killing Nigerians. When we are serious, we will address these issues.
Thank you so much on that, Barrister Manki.